What is up, guys? Wraec is here with a new video, and today we're going to talk about the best Mythic Plus charms for your heroes, the ones you definitely want to go for, the ones that you want to aim for, especially in light of one upcoming thing, because if you haven't seen it already in the version guide, you can see the upcoming game features, and we now see 1.24, the next game version, and we see Ravaged Realm. If you don't remember, last season we had an end of season boss called Zed Sahara in the Ravaged Realm, gave a ton of loot, and apparently this game mode is coming back, maybe featuring a new boss. We'll have to see about that, but for this one you definitely want to prepare all the right charms, and I'm here today to tell you which ones are the priority ones that you want to go for, and how you can maybe get a few more stage clears in Duras Trial. And we're starting off with that because Duras Trial is once again your main source of Mythic Plus charms. There are Mythic and Mythic Plus charms in here, as you can see by the boxes we have down below. The right one here, the Charm Chest 5, that features Mythic charms. The ones that you really want are the Charm Chest 5 Plus. Those include the Mythic Plus charms, and of course, the further you progress, the more likely it becomes that you get Mythic Plus charm chests. So once we are here, for example, it's 24% already, and usually you will get 1, 2, 3 Mythic charms. Mythic Plus charms once you add like 40. So how can you progress those stages? I mean, a lot of those stages are really hard, and in a way, in some situations I have to disappoint you a little bit. Sometimes there is really this one key hero that is required. Sometimes this is just like Tazi will clear it, but everybody else will struggle. But in a lot of cases you can actually go forward and clear stages with a lot less than you would expect. So like now I am stuck at this stage, but look, this team cleared it. This is like not a super highly upgraded team, but this still cleared it. So the thing is, the buff to the heroes that are up in this game mode, like the ones with the arrows here, is so insane that they can outweigh the extra stats that I have through Supreme Plus or maybe even Paragon 2. What I then try to do usually is take a look at the team. There are 2 teams that are featured as ideal. I tend to not take those. I try it usually with the one that is the lowest power clear. Sometimes those don't include like optimal heroes. They tend to go for like the Ulmus Iron Strat and leave out some of the newer heroes. For example, right now we have Lenya in here. She will not often be used in this team, but I still found that I more often have success with the lowest power clear than I have with the ideal team. And then there is a big RNG component to this. Like you can get a critical hit, and it might make actually a big difference if you do so. And through some attempts, you will find out that eventually you will just get the clear that you wanted. For example, we were stuck here before. This was a stage I was stuck at. Now I got the right RNG. That is probably the 10th attempt that I do on this stage. And now we are through here, so we can progress to the next one. And on the next one, I will do the exact same strategy. And just do the pretty easy thing of just scrolling to the right, taking this team, and just trying to go through here and trying to use the same strategy once again and hoping for the right RNG. Here we don't really have a super powerhouse of a hero. These stages that I found the simplest to clear were the ones with Tazi. So if you own Tazi, you probably have a fairly easy way to level 40 on some stages. This one is really dominated by Nara. Like teams without Nara, I think, will struggle here a little bit. But you can see, like, just looking at this stage, even if you saw the clear before, this seems a lot easier. The health of my heroes not really varying too much, and it is a fairly easy clear. Also, beyond that, we'll take a little bit of a stop here because that's enough of clearing for the moment. One thing to note, you have a blessing in here, and this blessing gives you the powerful faction talent buff. So even if the faction talent that you have right here is not like super highly upgraded, you can see you still have like a ton of buffs in here, immune to fatal blow and everything, so you will still profit from a lot of those buffs that you might not even have. And the most important thing to note here, check a look at this. The prime carry is unaffected during the first 12 seconds of the battle. Now let's compare that to my actual buffs. And this is like very important for you as well. I don't have that because this is actually only unlocked here. So this is a skill I haven't even unlocked yet. And this blessing will just give it to me. So even if you are a little bit behind on stages, you will just get that buff. And this is also like a very important thing to do. And then your real goal is only to progress the stages, try to get to 40, try to unlock like all of the parts in the heroes, and then you can select your heroes and specifically farm for the ones that you really need. I recommend going to 40 because the good thing is we have this part and hero mechanic here, where we can decide on which ones we want to go for. Clear floor 40 to unlock. We have the charm probabilities here, and that is like really the main thing. If we take a little bit of a look at the rules, right here it will tell you after the 35th floor, this is like the hero wish, and then on the 40th floor, the specific part wish will be unlocked. So even if you only get to 35, you can already wish for a specific hero, but you will have to clear the next 3 stages to wish for a specific part. And this is actually good to wish for a specific part, because once you clear that 40 and unlock the part selection, there are some interesting things that you can actually do. And I want to give you that little trick, because for the first charms that you unlock, this can be actually very interesting. Let's say, for example, we want to go for Talene charms. Let's just say we in general want some Mythic plus charms for Talene. What we can do now is we can just go select our Talene, select left, and that will give us a pretty nice probability to just get a Talene Mythic plus charm. So there it is, we got one Talene Mythic plus charm right there, got something for Tazi as well, very nice. And we now just switch over to the middle one, and again, we see one time it's guaranteed, we got a Mythic plus charm for the middle slot for Talene. Now we just do it for the last part, and this will just give us one complete Mythic plus, well, not a set necessarily, but it will give us a Mythic plus charm for every single slot offer. So for the start, this is a very nice strategy to just within one day get a full Mythic plus charm slotted for every single position on your hero, which will give them a decent amount of power. And then you can still decide which set you want to go for, and that is something we want to take a look at now. So going for our heroes, there are of course a few ones that we just know that we want to have. For example, if you have Wraec, well, obviously he's a hero you want to go for. He is currently one of the best boss damage dealers we have in the game. One of the most interesting clear heroes, not everybody has him, but he is one of the heroes you definitely do want. So, the way they did this in this season, and it's a little bit different from the last season, is they no longer really allow us to mix match different Mythic plus charms. In the last season, you sometimes saw me recommending to you to use 2 of like focus charm 5 with like some fizz staff, and then using a 3rd one that is from a different set. Now they said, okay, no, the way you want to do this is you want to collect the full set. So every slot should have the same type of Mythic charm in there. And we see our current Mythic charm is the Balance charm. It offers HP attack, fizz def and range def. And the Balance set, which is a buff you get once you slot like every 3 of them, gives us an additional 36% HP and 21% attack. And that is the same for every single one that we see here. This is the sorcery set. It gives us 5 ultimate power, which is 2 more than we could obtain last season. And for that we have to slot 3 sorcery sets. So all the recommendations that I'm going to give to you guys will now be based on a set. So we will always say, okay, you will have to equip the Balance set, you want to have the sorcery set. So if I pinpoint like, for example, say, okay, the sorcery set is what you want, then we want 3 of this. And this is like the way we are approaching this now. For Wraec, we want to go for the Balance set. The Balance set offers attack and HP, which are very important for him. We are, by the way, not going to talk about refining today, as the info on that is just not in the game yet, but you will be able to upgrade your charms a little bit further. That is the quintessence of it. You want to get more stats on him because he is growing. He's of course a growing hero, and once you unlock his Mythic Plus, you can see upon assisting or defeating a unit, Wraec gains 60% of attack and 60% of their max HP, up to 220% of his base attack and 220% of his base max HP. So the goal of this charm is to up the values of his base attack and base max HP, so you can up them even more with the buffs from his Mythic Plus. So that's why HP and attack on him are the best charms that I have tested yet. So Harak is a go. Lily May, the same. I don't have the optimal Lily May charms, sadly. What happened was I got 2 of those red ones and I thought, okay, I just barely have 60 of the white essence, and you can of course buy every single one with white essence. And I said, okay, then I will just buy 1 so that I have my first full set. And this is not a bad one. It's attack crit, both values that you can really need. The ones that most players use for her is really the sorcery set, going with the ultimate power and the skill power for her. So sorcery set for Lily May is what I would also recommend for you guys. If you have like this one, the Titanic set with the attack and crit, it's not bad, it's not optimal, but it is a decent start, and you can eventually just unlock the other sets, either through buying them with the white essence or by just, of course, obtaining them through the respective game mode. But those were like the very standard picks. Let's now take a look at some heroes that are a little bit more, well, under the radar. And the first one, and the major one that I really want to show you guys, and we want to take a look at some gameplay of that. Or at least at some stats. Let's take a look at some stats, because gameplay-wise it's not very interesting to see this hero fight. And it's Ludovic. Ludovic is not a particularly interesting hero to watch gameplay of, because he's just moving flowers over the board. But his damage is very interesting. And the way you buff this damage is by equipping him with this wonderful insight set, which provides skill power. And skill power works towards one of his skills, of course, and if we take a look at that, let me quickly find that. Skill power, of course, is just everything outside the ult. So usually you have the ult, which is ultimate power, and then you have the skill power for the rest of the skills, and you find them, for example, here we have the losing HP, making the lose HP equal to 40 plus 10%, and it's upgraded to 55. So with the 5 extra skill power, this actually goes from 55 to 105, massive damage buff, nearly doubled. And then we have this one as well, where we absorb enemy HP, and this is usually 12%, goes to 17% with the skill power that we have. So in reality, the damage buff that this provides is quite insane. So here we have the values from a fight against the Crystal Beetle. This one is without the Mythic plus Charm set. We can see here we have just like 3 random ones equipped, and we dealt about 16 billion damage. Right here, which is pretty consistent with the fight before. Here we upgraded, and you can always see, by the way, from the symbols if there is a full set equipped or not. Here we have Ludovic without a full set, and Smokey and our Fresto have the little circle around that, which indicates that they have a full set equipped. Here he switches from having no full set to a full set, and we can see his damage going from 16 billion to 30 billion. So while we already observed within the stats, of course, that there is nearly a doubling of his power just through the skills, this also really reflects into the damage, and you can see what the powerhouse he can become in certain fights. So Ludovic, don't underestimate him, insane hero to go for, and definitely recommend that. And yeah, this is the skill power set you do want to go for, the Insight one. Let's take another look at it so you can see it again. Insight, just the one with the skill damage, not the skill power, not the recommended one. This is actually Healing Haste that they recommend, which is not correct, not at all. Next one, again a skill power one actually. Like last season, the wrong one is actually recommended on Sharky. I don't have it yet, and it's not nice that I don't have it. I really want to, but I have to wait for the next Rogue set to arrive. The one that they recommend is this one. It's HP Ultimate Power. I don't know why they want to go for Ultimate Power. The one you just want to go for, where is it? No, not this one. It's a skill power. It's just like the skill power one is fairly easy. The skill power one is just the one we already used last season. They kind of tend to recommend ultimate power, but really makes no sense. It makes only sense if you want to use him as like, not even as a damage dealer really, because you get like the reduced damage taken here. And gets a little bit of haste increased. Like the haste is kind of nice. 40 haste instead of 25. But what you really want is not the life drain, it's the extra attack. We have extra attack. We'll also grant him the attack, and then the bonus attack from each non-summoned ally within Lupin Aura is increased to 7.5 plus 1%, brings it to 12.5. And then we have each non-summoned ally within Lupin Aura can share the same attack bonus from Wolf's Will. And Wolf's Will is this one. So every attack bit that he gets through this, that also gets put on the allies. So when you have him at +10, this is like an insane amount of attack, because he gets all of those buffs, which are supposed to only buff him, but with the +10 they also buff the allies. So this is like the combo that we're using here, and that's why you use skill power and make him one of the most powerful attack buffers in the game, which right now I sadly don't have on my account, which is a little bit of a sad thing to say, but yeah, at the moment sadly is the case. Then, of course, I kind of went for like, okay, who do I use in Dream Realm? And then we kind of looked at the 4 heroes now that find a place in Dream Realm. We, of course, forgot one of the more common ones as well, which is Fresto. Fresto, again, pretty standard choice that we go for here. We see the sorcery set, you already saw it, ultimate power, skill power. Definitely a nice choice. Interesting one here this season. You can see there is, I'm not hiding stuff from you that is like the normal mythic charm. You can see they have pretty similar stats, but they don't have the extra bonus down below, which is of course absolutely massive. Last season you could go for a little bit more of crit stuff. Now they said, okay, this guy is like a tank, and they only gave him like really defensive options. So we have like 4 defensive options, and we have ultimate power, skill power, which really reduces the options that we have to get damage on this guy. And of course we won't get damage on this guy, because this guy is a powerhouse, is dealing a ton of damage, and therefore, yeah, definitely go with ultimate power. Skill power just is really the only thing that buffs his damage from the sets that we have. So nice one at that. One more that we want to take a look at, probably Talene. There are some more options in here. I just don't want to go over all of them. Talene, we just unlocked the Mythic Plus charms actually. Those were the 3 that we got. You can see it's a massive attack buff, massive power boost that we got here. We actually got one good one, which is this one. They also recommended attack, ultimate power, massive boost to her damage. Really nice. And if you use Talene rather often, and I mean she has some use here, she's also used fairly regularly in Duras Trial as a hero, then you probably want to go for that. We sadly only got it 1 time, so we have to maybe try a little bit more for that. There is no wish list option yet to wish for like a specific series or a specific set. That would be kind of cool if they changed Duras Trial a little bit and would say like, okay, you can wish for 2 things, and they gave you the a selection of like, either you can go for a combination of hero and set, or you can go for a combination of slot and like series, or hero and series. Something like this would be pretty cool, I think. Would be interesting. Maybe something they will do in the future. Till then, keep in mind every single upgraded charm is a massive boost to your power in Duras Trial. So even if you don't have a full set, it's already a power boost. And collecting all of those throughout the season and throughout the time is rather important. And the main key, of course, to all of this and to getting all of that power on your account is by just clearing more stages in Duras Trial. And don't stop trying. I saw many players last season that just stopped trying, that just said, okay, I can't clear the stage, and they stopped. You actually become stronger. You actually become stronger because you collect more charms for heroes, and eventually the heroes you use against the stage that you're stuck, by the way, I'm currently stuck right here, eventually those heroes will earn some charms. We just earned the charms for Talene, for example. We can still earn charms for example, our Brutus. Brutus ultimate power charms still work. We can still upgrade his immunity for some time. And eventually, this will carry us to the point where we can clear the stage. And then we will have another stage where we can farm and get additional loot and get additional charms. And that is a major thing. And something that you should not underestimate. This one we will lose though, which is kind of horrible. Because actually, have to say, Salazar is a horrible enemy. But okay, bit of a sad note to end on. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want any more recommendations, if you want to know anything more about the Mythic charms, about the Mythic Plus charms, and about Duras Trial, if you want to have any more videos about that, please let me know, and I will gladly make another video about it. This season, I have to say, I enjoy Duras Trial. Works out pretty well. The pacing is kind of good this time. Took a little bit longer, and I thought I would kind of hate it, but turns out I don't. It's kind of good this time. So yeah. Still, if you like this video, maybe consider subscribing to the channel. And with that, I wish you a great day. We'll see us in the next one.